Hey guys. Hello. Hello. What's up? What's up? Yeah, had a small little technical difficulty, but while fixing it, we had a really good opportunity to listen to some cool tunes, to some really good music. I'm glad about that. Oh shit, I forgot to. Actually, I forgot to do a bunch of things, to be honest. Yeah. Forget to export this video to YouTube, but by the way I have. Yeah, I should probably advertise that through Nightbot. Oh my gosh, Nightbot works day and night. Day and night. That's why it's called Nightbot. Yep, exactly that. Yeah, though. Now let me just quickly. Wait, what was that? That was cool, just. Okay. I do that. I forgot to do that. What else I forgot to do? Um, um, um. Box unit compute. Wait. What else did I try to do? Huh? About what? About huh? Well, if I don't remember it, then it's not. Alright, change the description. Yep. Yeah, change the description because today we're gonna play on Cool Thing server. Yep. We're gonna continue our building shenanigans over there. Yep. Oh, yeah, and of course I need to check another thing. Okay, everything seems to be in order. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like so... like... I'm so busy playing other games. I know that sounds strange and insane, but... Yeah, like I have work. I have my French learning lessons. I have other stuff, like other games. I'm constantly switching on and off. I played a bit of Spiral Knights, then I played that Fantasy Star online game. Like, it's like I need more hours in a day, you know? Like I need like twice as much hours, like twice as many hours in a day. Yep. But don't spend any of those additional hours on work. Well, I mean work. Yeah. Because like two emotes is what we have left to fill up the base, you know, like the base level. Well, actually it's 4 because there are like additional emote slots which I have no idea what those are about. Also, tier 2 and tier 3 emotes, also beats emotes. Yep, are not finished yet. Also, I wanna remake some of the emotes, like some of the ones that I have, you know, because I feel like they're a bit too meh, you know, meh. And just look, pointless shapes and whatnot. Also been looking into other streamers emotes, just to kind of get an idea of how to make them. Yeah, and I feel like my initial problem, I mean, I suppose mistake, was that I didn't, well, of course I checked how those emotes would look when they were finished, like how they look when it's a really small emote, but what I should have done is from the beginning, I should have just made sure that those emotes are like gonna be like Twitch sized, you know, that they're gonna be small. Yeah, because that play, I would have like done proportions differently, you know? Yeah. Yeah, from what I've noticed, it's really important to make a mouse, to make the mouth big, you know? Yeah, because it needs to be seen from far away to kind of understand what sort of an emotion is that, you know? So yeah, I should have done that. I was just too afraid to do that because I thought that it would look stupid. And yes, it does look kind of stupid when you look at it from, you know, like from up close. Yeah. But if you look at them from far away as a shield because it's an emote, that actually looks really good. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I still have lots of emote stuff to do, but yeah, April's coming soon, guys. You know what that means? That means I'm going to disappear for a bit. I know it sounds crazy. But that's how it's supposed. That's how it's gonna be, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, Fantasy Star Online is, you know, it's kind of fun. Like, it has that mindless grinding, like, in it, but it's kind of like a mindless grinding with purpose, you know? That's how I would explain that. And it has lots of cool, like, small little systems. And I feel like in these games, like, they're not that much about gameplay. They are more about gameplay loop and your character progression. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I feel like nowadays, lots of games, they try to focus on gameplay itself more than everything else. Okay, and let me elaborate. There is nothing inherently wrong with that, but I feel like they kind of sacrifice by doing that with once again, like with gameplay loops and like outside gameplay mechanics. Like it seems like, I don't know, like take World of Warcraft for example. I mean, I suppose mythic dungeons are kind of fun, but that's all that you do unless you wanna go like into high rates, and there is no build making, you know? Like there is nothing like, ooh, I need to make sure that I have this style, and no, you just, or like, oh, what should I do? Should I go this or should I go that? No, you just go into, like you just go into guide page and you follow it, or actually, like the way that it works is that the best build is so apparent that you don't really need to think about it. It's like the developers, they just give you like a puzzle, you know, like a jigsaw puzzle, but it only has one piece missing, you know, and you need to like slot it in. And it's like, I don't know, I don't like that, you know. Like when systems are simple, it's really easy to, well, it's really easy to balance them, yes, but it also makes it really easy for players to figure out the best stuff. Whereas when the game has lots of moving pieces and lots of different mechanics and lots of different, you know, like equations in mind, it's like, it's not really easy to find out what you need, you know? Like you actually need to think about it. Which is for me where most of the fun goes when it comes to these games. I don't know, I swear, it feels like I just like spreadsheet simulators or something. Yeah. It's like kinda silly. It's like so silly. And I mean, I wouldn't mind playing the next mindless like slasher, you know, kind of in a sense. But oh yeah, I was also thinking about horror games. That's right. Yeah, like for example, Zenless Zone Zero. Though this is not the worst example by far, but yeah, like it kind of has interesting gameplay, albeit a bit mindless. But the gameplay loop kinda sucks, and it's like you don't really feel rewarded for the work that you've put into trying to amass a really good build, because number one, all of the best teams are kind of apparent in that game, because you know, like, come on, like just pair characters with their no, not even that. Yeah, you just have Miyabi and then two supports. GG. GG. You know, here's your best build. Yeah. But also because the challenges they're so obviously tailored towards like characters that are coming out that it feels like the biggest challenge is to remember your card the credit card information. You know? Like it really feels like that. Yeah, because other than that, it's just easy peasy. Playing gameplay loop sucks, and yeah, and by gameplay loop, I mean the stuff that you do in the game in general, you know? Like not the intermediate gameplay, but what sort of actions do you do in the game? You know, like Zenless Zone Zero gameplay loop would be something like, oh, go to log in daily, or do dailies, as in drink coffee, you know, do the store stuff, all of that. Go farm resources, boom, easy, GG, die. You know, next day you do the same, next day you do the same. At the end of the week, do all of the pointless events that are just hidden minigames. Well, not really hidden, but you know, that are just pointless minigames that kind of waste your time. Do the boring Hollow Zero investigation, you know, which is like you just fight some enemies. That's all. That's all. And it's like not even interesting because it feels like it brings something interesting to the table. It doesn't. You know, it doesn't. Yeah. And then do the SEO defense, which is actually interesting. You know, like SEO defense is the one thing that is kind of interesting because it kind of pushes you to try to beat challenging opponents in a certain amount of time, but even then, it's once every 2 weeks, and it feels like you do everything, just for those 2 weeks, which is, I suppose, is my mainest gripe with that. It's like you spend so much time for 2 hours of gameplay. You know, that's not cool. Like, that's not cool. Like with old games, it's like, yeah, for example, take WoW Classic. It takes a really long time to level up a character. Like, I remember I've been playing for about a month, almost daily. Like about 3 to 4 hours a day. Yep, that was an insane grind. And I got my character to level 50, I think. Even though I was following a guide. Yes, involvement is really big, but the reward is also kind of big. Because at the end, you know, you get to do raids, you get to do the end game dungeons, you know? Like, it's not just 2 hours of gameplay that you're doing all that for. And even then, you still have to kind of think about there are some decisions to be made as to how to level up your character, as to when you have to, you know, when you have to upgrade your character's gear, as to what locations to choose from, you know, like what quests to do. It's like, it's kind of, it's really involved. It's really involved. You know, I don't know. I feel like it's just focus is not there with with nowadays games, with modern days games. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? What am I saying? Yeah, oh well, oh well. At least we have those old games. You know, like we have those games, which is really cool. You know, like the fact that this game has such a awesome community that it literally brought this game back from the dead is like super cool. I know it's super cool. This really does give some hope that even if, you know, like even if those games like that are kind of like all online, like even if they go down, maybe there will be a community that will bring them back. Though I'm not really sure if that's gonna be this, like, if that's gonna be the true with gachas, you know, considering that, like, gachas are sort of a games that are like, they're continuous, but it's all about now, you know, in terms of content. Like, for example, once again, classic WoW, yeah, it's fun in that, like, of course, everything in that game is about reaching the endgame and trying to do endgame stuff, but there are challenges that are made for the entirety of levels, you know? Like, there are no events that are coming by, it's just, yep, here's the dungeon, this dungeon is here, alright, alright. Yeah, but with gachas, I feel like there are so many events that are just come and go, and for example, though, like, yeah, if you bring those, like Zenless Zone back, you know, even at its current state, like, what do you do endgame? Like, there is just gonna be one shield defense that's gonna rotate or something, I suppose, at the end. I mean, that's something to do, I guess, but this is the problem. This is the issue. You know, I mean, at least I see. Maybe I didn't manage to get my point across, and for that, I do apologize. I just mumbled for 20 minutes, but let's get in the game. Let's get in the game. Now, let's get in it. We need to start the game first, though. I know, insane. I was literally just, yeah, I was literally just standing in the lobby, like, looking for... Not looking for, but I was just feeding my pets, yeah. Apparently lots of games have mechanics like that, which is, I mean, old games. Like, mechanics like that, where you have to feed your pet and take care of it. Yeah. Take care of your little petty pet. Oh, that sounds a bit weird, huh? What? Okay. Okay, vintage story. Booting up. Booting up. Oh shit, version 120.5? There is a new version. Wow! I didn't think I'm gonna upgrade though. Because you kind of assume that the server that I'm playing at, which is once again cool thing server, big thanks to cool thing for organizing this server. You know, nice super cool of them. Nice super duper cool of them. Yep. Well, yeah, that's where we're gonna play today. Last time when we played, I believe we were trying to build a A tea house. Yeah, a tea house. I know we're gonna continue that. Yeah. I've been thinking about that. There are definitely some things that I was not really happy at the end, and I wanna change them. For example, the way that windows are located. Yep, yep. I wanna change that. Have to do something though. I feel like. Yippee! We're over here. Oh my gosh. After what was I playing? Oh yeah. After playing Royalty Squad. Yep. Now it feels a bit weird. It's like what? Like a first person game which seems normal and not deranged? Eh? You know, like, eh? That doesn't make any sense. Now, let's start our quickline production. Yeah, but that what we were doing. Yeah. Though I feel like I need to get more acacia trees. Yeah. I mean, I have lots of shanty, by the way. Asian flower. Fresh for 5 years. Yeah. Yeah, because I only have that many acacia planks. Which is not a lot. You know? It's not a lot. Yeah, but I kind of like the way that windows are made. Like outside of the board. So I kind of wanna, you know, do something like that. So just make those like vertical. Or maybe just do them vertical and like one windows, maybe just two big windows, 3 big windows. Yeah, I feel like 3 windows would be fine in this room. Yeah. And then I feel like right up to this. Oh yeah, I was also... Yeah, it seems like I will have to make a table that's right up against the wall. Yeah, maybe up against here. Yeah, because there's not lots of space. There is not a lot of space. I was thinking about making this thing bigger. You know? Like making this room bigger. Yeah, but then I'll have to rebuild the entire area over here, and I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I'll have to rebuild all of that. It's a lot of work. I'm gonna be honest. It's a lot of work. I also need to fix some of that, yeah. But for that, we need lots of acacia, and I only have 2 planks, so... I feel like I should start going. Oh, that looks really good. Oh, that looks... I really like the way that it looks. Unless we have some acacia over here. Hardwood. Let's just support beams. I planted some of acacia over here, but I don't think that way it will grow. Will sprout in less than a day though. Oh. Interesting. Oh. Awooga. Awooga. Okay. It seems like we'll have to run. Oh no. Is this a yapping shrimp? Yeah, it is. It really is a yapping shrimp. Yeah, I know only of one place where there are lots of acacia trees falling. So I think this is where we'll go. Boom, boom. I go to the palace. Um, and then we run out lots. Yeah, because right now we're at 7,000. I believe that acacia trees were at like 10,000, like not even 10,000, probably like 15,000 or something like that. Yeah, something insane like that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go get that. I will probably, hmm. Well, I feel like we should have um, enough plaster to do all of that. Yeah, I think so, I think so. Sure. Yeah, no, we're not gonna stop for plaster. We're just gonna run south. Yeah. Whoa, that was a deer. Awesome. Um, game. Um, game. Um, um, uh, oh, oh. Oh no. The world stopped existing in this place. Oh no. Oh wait. Everything's back to normal. Yippee. Let's get this. Let's give a small yippee for that. Which is there? Yeah. Not too many lakes over here, unfortunately. That's kind of sad. Yeah, if we had lots of lakes, or like an ocean, yeah, well, I could have just taken a raft and, oh my gosh. I know, at least at sea, there is no bullshit like that. Like, there are no elevations like that. So just swim into one direction without any worries. Over here. Interesting. A fox grape. What's so foxy about that grape? I don't know. I don't know. You know, if it was orange, I can see that. Like if it had like cute ears and tails in it, I can also see that. But I don't know. It's just a fox grape. Usual. Sunflowers. I have a sunflower. Is silly. Sunflowers are kind of silly, I feel like. So it is kind of curious that a plant that looks like a sun actually follows sun around. No, it's kind of insane. Oh, hi, Philo. He's okay then. He's okay. Yep. Helping your friends is important. And you're being a really good friend by doing that. Yeah. Good job, Flo. Good job. Whoa. I'm not sure how much, like how long I'm gonna stream today. Yeah, like I feel like, I don't know. Like a 2-hour stream seems to be like an order. Because I am feeling kinda eepy. Yeah, so don't be too hasty about that, you know? Up. Oh, Bunai! Bunai! Wow. Oh my gosh. Those elevations. Those damnable elevations. You know, if I had an... Wait, what was that? Elk? Yeah. If I had an elk, oh my gosh, that of works. It would have been so much easier. So much easier. Not gonna lie though, I do have an itch. I do have that itch to just grind, you know? You know, just to go pew pew pew. Just to go pew pew pew. And then watch numbers grow big. Wait, is that actually what it is? Is that actually what it is? Like all of those MMOs, like old style, do they all just prey on that idea of monkey brain sees number go big, monkey brain happy? Is that what's happening? Because that's crazy. Oh yeah, that's a trader card without any traders. Oh no wait, there is a trader. Local goods, okay. Trader. Local goods. There. Nice. I'm also kind of surprised at how far I managed to go to get in Spiral Knights. Like, I'm not really sure if like they've changed the game a bit to make it kind of quicker than it used to be, but I swear, I felt like when I played it first time, which of course was a long time ago because, like, incredibly so, this game was released in 2011. You know, so this game is almost 15 years old. Yeah, that's insane. But I feel like I just spent so much time in this game just trying to progress and just trying to, like, for example, that first boss that I beat, which was like the Shadow Beast. I feel like when I played this game, like it took me like a week to get to that boss. Like, I don't know. And I did feel that way with lots of different games. You know, like, oh, when I played a certain game as a kid, like I remembered it being super long, you know, that I had to really spend a lot of time to get to a certain point. But when I was replaying them, like it feels like it's just an hour of gameplay to get to that point. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just weird, to be honest. It's just weird. Yeah, like when I was a kid, I played lots of movie games, like unironically, because I was a huge fan of many different movies, like animated movies as a kid, especially the ones that have animals in them. You know, like Madagascar, dude. I was the OG. I believe I watched that film like back in huge cinemas, you know, like back in cinemas. Like I watched that film, yeah, and I loved it. It was so cool. Yeah, and I remember playing a video game about that, which was, I mean, a bit weird. I feel like all of the movie game movie games, I suppose they're called. They were all kind of weird. Yeah, because it feels like it was just a like it was just how do I say that? It was just a game with lots of minigames in it, you know? Like yeah, I remember there was a dance section in Madagascar, there is like a stealth section. There is a small like 3D platformer section in which you had to just, you know, run around and collect stuff. Yeah, and apparently you can complete this game within like 4 hours or something. But as a kid, yeah, I just didn't. It was. I spent so much time with this game. I also remember that I think I got to go Crooked City or something, but for some reason, the game would just always, like always, rush on the same spot. Yeah, it was like like there was a jungle section during the night, and you had to like climb vines or something, and it would always crash there for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why. Yeah, and that was like a stopping point. But then one time it didn't. For some reason it went through. I was just, yeah, oh yeah, and I remember when it happened. At first time, of course I didn't know what to do. I think I just tried to start the game again. And, you know, just go through it again. You know. And I replayed this game, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 times? Like something like that? Oh my gosh, and I also remember that this game has... Yeah, like it had a cinematic which... I feel like it just traumatized me as a kid because... It created a fear that I still have up to this day. And yes, that's gonna sound silly, but... It's the... I suppose a fear, not really a fear, but... Okay, so... On the ship, where when you play as, you know, the penguins, as those penguins, there is a, like, like, section when they sabotage the ship, and what happens is that it, like, all of the toilets just blow up, you know? Like, they just blow up and they just start spewing water. But not just, you know, like the normal water. No. It's the sewage water. Yeah. And I remember there was like a guy sitting on a toilet. And then he got thrown up like into air because the toilet blew up. And then he got covered in sewage water. And I don't know why, but whenever I flush the toilet, I'm always kind of scared that this might happen, you know? Like that it's gonna just malfunction, and it's gonna just backfire, and it's gonna just... You know? Like still to this day I have that fear. I don't know why, it's so silly, but... You know, back in the game it was so spoopy. It was so spoopy. Yeah. But I feel like the reason why it took me so long to complete games. Okay, well, I feel like there are two reasons. Reason number one is because most of these games were mostly on English, but I didn't know English back then. So, I think I didn't know that most of those games had a save function. It's like, you know, I just knew that the first option in the game always starts the game, so I was always pressing that. Yeah. And, for example, if a game has a continue button, whenever you know, like save the game and you quit it, and it's the first option, then yes, I was able to play the game again from the point when I stopped. But if it was not there, and if for some unbelievable reason the first option in the list would just start a new game, then yes, I would start a new game again, and then I would play the game again, and then when I would finish, and then when I would stop playing, I would go back again and I'd start the game again. Yeah, but also I feel like the main reason why it took me so much time is because, you know, I was a kid back then. Of course, like I didn't know how to play games properly. Like I could barely wrangle with controls. But also, and that's why, you know, there were actually games that I struggled to, you know, to finish. Yeah, like nowadays, I don't know, maybe it's just the gamer skill or something. And I'm not trying to brag, but I don't remember in a recent memory like a game that I couldn't finish, you know? Like all of the games that I play now, yep, like okay, I might not finish them because they are too boring, but or like I'm uninterested in them, but I don't remember a game that I couldn't finish because it was difficult, you know? Of course, when I was a kid, there were lots of games that I couldn't finish because they were difficult. Yeah, but I feel like there was also some sort of like childlike wonder, you know? Like just to see your favorite like movie characters move around on the screen, just to, you know, like like the world, like the 3D world was just so like it was just so insane to me that I would literally just spend lots of hours just walking around and just, you know, appreciating it. Just just looking at stuff, or just looking at some silly animations, or just, you know, like silly stuff like that. Of course now, like I've seen it so many times that I'm not really interested in that, you know? Like I just smash video games. You know, I've seen it, I know how it works, I've done it, I'm like, you know. Or maybe there is just some sort of cynicism hidden behind. Yeah, like last time I replayed one of the GTA games. It was so fast, and I was like sitting there being like, like, oh, what, this game has 100 missions, but I managed to complete it all so simple, also easy, I mean, like, Yeah, but then when I was a kid, like playing GTA games, I would just drive around the city. I would just, you know, I suppose do something that most people consider roleplay. But to me, I was just so immersed in the world that I just felt a part of it, you know? And it was really interesting for me to just walk around in it, to just, what, forest crops, what? Yeah, just to walk around in it, just explore it. Like, even some meaningless stuff, like, was super big for me. Like how in GTA San Andreas, you can sometimes buy hot dogs, you know? I was like so like amazed by that, like, wait, what? Like, you can just stop here and buy hot dogs, and you know, and when I wanted to get a bite, I would just get a hot dog. Also, that game, like GTA San Andreas, I believe that it has a really interesting RPG system, which like wasn't really seen in other games, which is kind of a shame. I mean, I suppose GTA 4 has something like that, but not really. Yeah, like in that game, in GTA San Andreas, you really had to take care of your character, because they have stats like physique, or like, you know, like stamina, like HP, like max HP. And those stats would increase if you do, you know, like physical activities. Of course, when you run around or when you ride on a bike, but also when you visit a gym, you know. But your character also needed to eat, which was like a really big thing about that, you know? Like you needed to sustain yourself. Because if you don't, then you would start starving and you would eventually lose HP and die. What? If you like food a bit too much, if you eat too much food, if you don't do any cardio, if you just ride around in cars, and you know, like not in bikes, then your character will quickly become a beast. I know, it sounds insane, but yep. And your character would be too, you know, like too, chumpy. Yes, chumpy. And they would, like, have less stats, like, have less physical stats. They would have less stamina because, you know, it's kind of hard. Running around with all that weight on your body. No, it was really interesting, but I suppose in the end of the day, like, yeah, I cared about that, you know, like I would go to gym all the time. I would make sure that I would eat good food. I would make sure that my character looks really, you know, really good. But what's interesting is I remember there is a sex appeal. Yeah. And it does exactly what you think it does. It's how, like, visually appealing your character is. But I remember being always confused because I would max out my strength. I would keep my fight at the minimum, like basically non-existent. And then I was so confused as to why that meter is so low. You know, like it was always low for me. But yeah, turns out, like to have the most optimal start of that, first of all, you need some fat. Like not all the way, but something like one quarter or like 1/3 is good. Also, while it's good to have lots of muscles, it's actually better if you do like if you keep it near the end, you know, like at about like 4/5, like 80%, like not all the way through, you know, somewhere like yeah, because once again, one like the same goes, I feel like with all things. All things. Everything is good in moderation. You know? Why do I feel like... I don't feel like this is the biome with all the stuff. Like with trees, but of course I wouldn't know that because it's too dark. And I can't see them. On down tree stump. Yeah. Oh, and of course good clothes. Because I would literally go to like, because, you know, like my character, like the character that you play as. Is essentially a gangster. Like a bandit. I would always dress them properly, but that's not the way to appeal to someone, you know? Like, if you just have a black shirt and green pants, that doesn't really go to any good, you know? And I think, jokingly enough, like the amount of held money actually increases that stat, but just slightly. Yeah. But if I remember correctly, you can actually just get lots of that stat. Yeah, and I was just, you know, I was just driving around the city, exploring it, I was just, you know, having a ball with this game. Yeah, I would complete the mission just, I don't know, like once in a moon night. Oh, sorry, full moon. And I'll just enjoy myself in that game. Yeah. But then when last time I replayed it, I kind of realized that, well, yes, it's kind of important to have all of those cool stats. I just didn't really care too much about it, so I just rushed through the game. Whoa! It's a Woxie, and it's your ferret. Hello, Geronimo ferret. Hello! How you doing? Um, yeah, and so just rushed through the missions, and I was like, oh, well, that game came by really quick. Just a small nibble, though. Just a small nibble, okay? Okay, just a small nibble. Just a small nibble wibble. Oh, yeah, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, I'm just on the lookout for acacia trees to build my tea house. Hopefully that sentence made sense. Yeah, but that's what we're doing in this game. Yeah. Managing acacia trees. Yeah, it's kind of like Minecraft, well, obviously, but with a focus more on survival aspects. I'd say, yeah, it's kind of like a hardcore survival Minecraft mod pack. Yeah, something like that. But this game is really fun. Like, I really like it. Dare I say, I might even like it more than Minecraft. You know, you know. And just because it has many, like, many of those cool little, like, mechanics. Like when it comes to smithing, when it comes to, you know, growing stuff. And it's all within the game, which makes it not, what? Yeah, not awful to interact with. Because I remember playing like a Minecraft mod pack and like how the things they wouldn't work properly or they were incredibly clunky. And so I was like, oh no. Wait, so this is the biome, it's not really that big. I mean, it would be big, but then there's this bullshit that kind of go there. That's kind of sad, that's kind of sad. But if you want to try that game, then only 20 euros on your website. Yeah, and it's of course more slow-paced Minecraft, I feel like. Yeah, because in yeah. In Minecraft, you can just find diamonds within like, I don't know, 10 minutes of the game, if you know what you're doing. Here you actually have to, like, you know, like, look for stuff. Like, you actually have to work for it. Like, we played on a different server before, and I think it took us like a week to find iron tools, which is kind of like one of the highest tiers. Not the final highest tier, but it's up there. Yeah, like a freaking week of just constantly playing, constantly getting stuff, and you know, like, just exploring the world to find iron and like to have all the tools to get it. Yeah, but that was really interesting. Like in itself, you know, it's a game in itself. Holy shit, so it goes all the way over here. Whoa. And it also has like seasons, which I feel like such a cool thing. Like it's such a cool feature in this game. Like there are months in this game and days, and right now we're in the middle, well, not in the middle, but at the end of winter. And yeah, temperature is kind of warm right now, but that's because I'm really south. Like I'm super south. Yeah. Look at our home. It's really cold over there. There is like snow. Or this doesn't grow. It's like, you know, like all of that. So you really have to, you know, like you really have to prepare for winter. Make sure that you have enough food. Make sure that you have warm clothes. You know, make sure that you're well protected from the elements. All of that. And even though this game is still in, you know, in the work, it's like patches are super big for this game. Like they just add so much new content in it. Yeah, like we played the new content that was added in this patch. It's like a continuation of a story within the game, and there was, yeah, like there were many cool new locations, like 2 more dungeons, and the first dungeon is actually super cool. Like it's kind of like a puzzle dungeon, or handcrafted, so it's like really high quality. Yeah, and lots of story beats and like another dungeon with a really cool gimmick, you know, which also kind of like a what you call it, a puzzle dungeon. Yeah, that was like super cool. Not to mention that they've added boats, like they've added more like water life, you know, like water plants, more fish. It's like, yep, each game gets some insane updates. And it's super exciting, you know? Like I am really excited about the next update. I'm definitely going to like play through it when it comes out. Yeah, but for now we're kind of just chilling on qualifying server. Kind of just, you know, kind of just relaxing, chillaxing, doing silly stuff, like trying to find those accursed acacia trees because I really like how they look, and I want to make a room out of that, or a tea house more precisely. Yeah. Oh, what the hell is that? Oh, traders! Traders! Wow. Well met, trader. What you sell? The luxuries. The luxuries merchant, I see. Trader. Luxury. 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 Okay, so this is the cursed land. I don't know how it has. Oh, the building materials. Interesting, interesting. Wait. Oh yeah, also nightboard. Nicely said, nightboard. Nicely said. We have a Discord server. Yeah, so if you're, I mean, you know, it does what you can expect from a streamer's Discord server. I post my updates. You know, it's a nice way to interact with you guys. So yeah, if you're curious, you can just ask me for a link or sub, and then you'll get like the link as well if you've integrated your Twitch account, Twitch and Discord accounts. Yeah, but I'm not sure. I'm kind of feeling like I should just leave the link open instead of doing it that way. Instead of doing it that way, because I don't know. It was just a bit clunky, and at first I kind of wanted to do that to, you know, like to keep all the bot people away. Because I feel like when you give your Discord link out in the open, you can just, you know, like you can just get scammers easily. You know, like on your Discord server, and I don't want that, you know? I don't want some shady people on the server. Yeah. But I feel like at this point, the server is just so small that maybe I can allow myself to do that. Yeah. Maybe I can just, you know, let some people in. It seems like lots of big streamers have their servers open. I mean, you know, so maybe, I don't know. Yeah, but then on the other hand, they do have, like they do have Discord admins that do all of that. I don't know. Oh, what's the time? How is that still 3 a.m.? Is the time at standstill or something? Holy shit! It takes forever to try and do that. I mean, it takes forever for the night to pass. And I feel like even if it's Acacia trees, I won't be able to clock them. I'm sorry, if there will be Acacia trees, I will not be able to clock them because it's just so dark. So let's just go more south, I suppose. Yeah, because what we have is definitely not enough. How much do I have? Oh, 22. Yeah, I don't think so. Because one log, like, you can sell one log into one, no, 12, planks, and then you need 4, so it's like one log into 3 plank woods, like plank blocks. You have about 60? Maybe that will be enough, actually. But I don't really, like, if it's not gonna be enough, then I'll have to do all of that one block again. And I'm not sure I'm ready for that, you know? Like, I'm not sure I'm mentally capable of going through that. Or maybe I just have to be brave. Maybe I just have to be brave. Yeah, there are cacti here. So, I think that's just, yeah, that's not a real acacia tree. What? It seems like we're still in a biome where they grow? Question mark, question mark, question mark. It's a hyena. It seems like it's more... It's more of a desert region, almost like. I mean, which makes sense. It's freaking south as hell. But for some reason I kinda doubt that there are gonna be like a full-on trees on the sand. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, because that's not the case, right? Yeah, there's pine somehow. Somehow pine grows here. Like what? Like eh. Pine is freaking everywhere. And I thought that birch is supposed to be like that, you know? Like a tree that just grows everywhere. Yeah, look at that. There's like gazelles. We are properly on the south. Wow! Wow! Wow. What is? I see. Yes, I see. Yes, I see. Wait, are those acacia? No, I think those are walnut trees. Nope. Well, it's maple, but the same deal. Also, that maple grows everywhere as well. What the hell? What's up with that? What's up with that? So how is that low fertility soil? Like this far down south? Oh, please tell me you're an acacia tree, not something else. You're oak. Oh no. Oh, I think those are acacia trees, right? Right over there. Those do look like chili trees. What is that? No wood. Wow. By the way, that's all the food that I have. Yeah, those are ebony logs. That means that this is acacia. Yippee. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that those hyenas are kind of chill. Aren't they supposed to be super aggressive? Okay. So now we should definitely have enough, but I'm gonna get a bit more just in case. Just in case. Wait, that's a really... Oh, did you see, guys? There's a really big tree. It's gonna take so many years to cut the tree. So many years. It's kind of insane. Kind of insane. Okay. 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 No, okay, we need more. More acacia. More acacia. Yes, yes. Get all the acacia trees. In that way. Yeah. All is set. There are so many of them. Over here. I suppose that this is just where that biome begins to spawn with those trees. Which is why we see so many of them. I know wish we had a teleporter over here, but I don't believe I received any components to do that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I thought this tree will be bigger. And there is like a small tree. Small like a cup of espresso. And I don't really get, to be honest. But I suppose this is just my... What are those? Those are super small hyenas. Those are so cute. Yeah. But I don't really see... Like, why would you... Like, what's the point of espresso? Like, let's be honest. Is that like... vodka but for, coffee? Like, what's up with that? Yeah. Like, it's... and, like, it's literally... like salt or like pumpkin shots. It doesn't really have any taste other than super bitter. Yeah, and they usually give you a glass of water, like when you drink that. I'm sorry, a glass of water when you drink that. Yeah, so what, like what's the deal? Do you actually just drink that to common line in the morning? Like, that's not the way that I like to drink coffee. I mean, I do my coffee black, but I also make sure that, you know, it's the kind of coffee that I can drink a whole, like, a whole mug of, you know? And I just drink it. Yeah, I just sip it. Like on mornings. Yeah. Oh, that looked weird. And I mean, on the other hand, you have people who drink, I suppose, kind of like Starbucks coffee. But then they add lots of additives to that, like a shit ton of milk, shit ton of sugar, you know, like all sorts of syrups, and like At this point, is that even coffee that you're drinking? You know? You just might as well drink an energy drink, like in the morning. Because then at least you'll have some vitamins with that. Yeah, but that is just... Yeah, like, it's caffeine, which I suppose is kind of cool, but then there is just so much sugar that it will just crush so hard. Like like during lunch, it's just not gonna have any happy thoughts by that point. Yeah, but we don't really need to ebony. No, I don't really like how it looks. Like, I'm not really sure how to use that. Like, do we use that for furniture? Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, acacia looks kind of fancy. To be honest, acacia looks how I would expect redwood to look. Oh, oh no! He's wet. The log is wet. So sad. Wow, what the hell was that? I didn't like that sound. Okay. Those are the acacia trees in my... A crab! It bit me. Ow. No, it snipped me. It didn't... No, crabs don't bite, they snip. It snipped me. Hmm. Oh no. Oh, I suddenly started to feel so ippy now for some reason. Oh my gosh. It's like someone smacked me in the back of my head with a bag of bricks, and I'm like, oh. I need to lay down after that. Ah, oh my gosh. No, 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 no. I can't be doing that. I can't be going to sleep. Oh, I should. Yeah, maybe I should. You know, usually what I noticed is that if you want to sleep, like if you feel a bit sleepy, like unless you have anything important, then you should at least try to get it up, you know? Because if you don't, oh, you're gonna regret. You're gonna so regret that, you know? Just not taking care of your body like that. Maybe I should go cheap. Shit. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow at like so early. like 4 hours before I need to go to work. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just sleep for 11 hours or something. Maybe even more than that. I also got 4 shoppings already. That's really good, that's really good. Though I kind of wish that when I got a tray, it would just go into your inventory, you know? Instead of you just having to run around and look for stuff. Okay. Okay. Oh, what's over there? What's over there? I see. Oop. Oop. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. Okay. I just became. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I just became swarmed in menus and stuff. And that was so confusing. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay, if I do that, if that's what I'm doing, I should definitely go to sleep. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't trust myself with. I can't trust myself with handling the computer system. So maybe I should go. What's today, by the way? Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, that's how I usually feel on Wednesdays for some reason. You know? Well, like, I don't know, maybe it's just, Wait, why did I break like that, eh? Why did I break stupid like that? Yeah, but I feel like Wednesdays is just... I don't know, maybe I just get too tired. I'm on the work week, but then... Like, Thursday is not us. You know? Like, work field. Maybe that's why I find some time to relax. Or maybe I just get tired. Like, because of, you know, like, because of the work week. And then, you know, I just find some time to relax. Which is why all Thursdays and Fridays are not as bad for me. Yeah, but I feel like this is, like, this is how my week goes. Like, my week energy flow. Like, Mondays to Wednesdays, it's just gonna decline. And then, Thursdays through Sundays, it's on... Did you just bite me? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, and like, the Thursdays to Sundays, it's like on the incline. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there is not enough space here, but there is enough space here, so That's where I'm gonna... Oh. Oh, the ship was running out of space. But those logs, okay, so that's... I got that I've decided to do that. I'm going to go back, that is. I'm gonna have some 3 hollows. Now let's just leave one stuck with me. I'll turn that into something. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about such a short stream, but... You know... I'm feeling tired and you probably don't want to look at me getting all tired and being like blah, 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 blah. You know? I feel like I should get some sleep. So how about that? How about that? Tomorrow is under question, to be honest. Once again, the question is always on whether I feel good or not. You know. So yeah. I will see you guys tomorrow. How about that? Okay. And if not tomorrow, then definitely Friday, because I don't know what. We'll have to think about what to do on Fridays. On Friday, yeah, I kind of have an idea on what to do. Like Saturday and Sunday is always like games with you guys. Yeah, maybe we'll play some Spiral Knights again. Maybe we'll play something else. I don't know. Well, yeah, that's all gonna be for tomorrow. What? Until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.